guys, welcome back. This is Miss Farah over here, and you guys are now here listening for MPU3253 Design Thinking for Week 3's class. So, how are you guys feeling today? I'm tired. I don't know about you guys. I'm super tired, but like life goes on. And what I want to discuss in our class in a very short recording today is that there are a couple things that you have to complete this week and very soon. It's because next week will be your design challenge proposal. And during this design challenge proposal, we are going to invite lecturers from other section to join us during the presentation, and you guys will have to present your ideas in front of the other lecturer and also me. So it's going to be very scary at the same time, a lot of things that you have to do before that design challenge itself. Okay, so let's move into what we are going to do in today's class. So before we move on, I just want to basically remind you guys on your second page of your group wiki. Now there are three different things that you have to complete in your group wiki, page 2. Number 1 is that you have to complete a research on primary and secondary research based on your finalized topic. Now, most of you guys have came and see me and presented your idea, which is awesome. But now you guys, what you guys have to do is that you have to divide yourself amongst your group member. So divide into two different groups. Now, half of you guys, please try and complete the primary research, which is basically constructing online survey questions. And another half of you guys, please do try and please do the secondary research. Okay, so I want everybody to start working half and half. All right. I don't want to point fingers and say, okay, you do this, because that is high school. You guys know how to deal with this. Please deal with yourself. And please remember, okay, please remember that this is a group project, and everything that you guys have contributed online, every single thing that you guys have been assigned to and contributed, please do include and please do put all of your contributions in group wiki page 7. Okay, so we have one dedicated page group wiki that is solely onto telling people or telling me or the reviewers, basically telling what you guys have done for your group project. Okay, and I think that it is very important because this is a group project and we don't want anybody slacking off. All right, so the second thing that you have to do is the pre-interview and interview questions, which is mainly on the primary research. In a bit, I'm going to show you guys how other people have done it, your seniors, so that it's a bit easier and clearer for you guys to do as well. And lastly, you have to do discovery canvas. Now, discovery canvas is something that can be a little bit redundant in the sense that some of the informations that are available in the discovery canvas also include your primary and secondary research. Basically, it's almost the same information. It's fine. You can copy and paste it. Okay, we like to see every single thing in different places, basically. That's what I'm saying. Now, that is what you guys have to start working on for page number 2. Right, because some part of second page of your group wiki is for you to complete a discovery canvas. Now let's move on. Okay, so how do you guys go and find your discovery canvas? Basically, go into your design thinking blackboard, and then click here in week 3. Then you'll be able to see your group wiki page here. Now, just now what I have mentioned, just now what I have explained are basically all of these things. And as you can see here, C is discovery canvas. How do you go and find the discovery canvas? Is basically by downloading this discovery canvas template. All right. So now let's have a look. I have downloaded one for you guys to see. All right. So here, this is a discovery canvas. Okay, so this is the discovery canvas that I wanted to teach you guys on. All right, so here this is basically the template, and I am going to use a sample, which the famous sample that I gave you guys since the beginning of the class, which I informed or I talked about before on the zero waste pet food. Okay. So this sample is derived from the zero waste pet food itself. So in the first page of your discovery canvas, it's mostly on the primary research. So I have mentioned earlier that I want you guys to group yourself. One, half of you guys would have to do primary research and another half of you guys would do secondary research. Now the primary research team, what I want you to do is that first and foremost, you have to create an online survey question. So you can go and explore. We have Google Forms, we have Survey Monkeys, we have a lot of different platforms for you to create online surveys. And what I want you guys to create is that you guys have to create three parts of online questions. Okay, so for the first part will be demographic, the second part will be general questions regarding your topic, and lastly, you will need some specific questions. I shall be talking more about this in a bit. But firstly, let's have a look at the users, the stakeholders, and also an expert. Now, I mentioned last week that in this stage of discovery, you need to be able to understand who are your target markets, the people who will eventually benefit from your solution or from your idea, the stakeholder, the people who are involved in directly or indirectly with your project, and also some experts. Experts are people who you might need help with to make sure that your solution or your idea to become a reality. Now, firstly, let's have a look at the target users. Target users are basically the people who might need to use your service or your product. For my zero waste pet food, the target users could be pet lovers, busy working adults, environmentalists, just to name a few. So if you can just put a lot more so that you can have a wider range of target users and target markets. Show us that you have think this through, show us that you have a lot of things that you have, targeted on. Because the more people that you target on, the better your market is. As simple as that. Now, as I mentioned, stakeholders. Stakeholders are people who directly or indirectly involved in your project. So here, if you guys remember the zero waste pet food, okay, the zero waste pet food was an idea of trying to solve a social cause of stray animals. So basically, my students, they view or they think that the stray animals around Nilai was a big issue and they want to solve it. Okay, so how do they solve it? They wanted to ask waste food or extra food from local restaurants around Nilai. And then from that waste food, they're going to categorize them and then they're going to generate or they're going to try and create pet food from all of the leftover foods, basically. All right. So when dealing with the issue of stray animals, the people that might be involved with your project could be the Majlis Pembandaran or the Nilai Council itself. All right. So these are the people that you might need to work with or maybe in future collaborate with. Okay. So experts, as I mentioned, are the people who you need their expertise to help you with this research. So just to name a few, these are not all, but just to name a few, okay? Because our solution or our idea could involve, trying to create food and stuff. We need to have an expert to give their opinion about this, pet food and stuff because obviously not all of us are knowledgeable when it comes to this. So I think it would be best for us to have some vets to actually provide opinions regarding the pet food that we are, that we are creating. And we also have designers. Basically, the designers, they have two main functions or two main job scopes. The first one will be designing the food packaging itself, and secondly, to design online websites so that we can, sell it online. And marketing and advertising, what do they do? Yada, 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 yada. Okay, so please make sure that you put a lot of things there so that we can see that you guys are actually thinking. Okay, now let's move into contact now. Now, when we talk about contact here, it's basically showing on how would you get in touch with your target audience or your target market. Okay, so the famous example that I always give my students is that if you notice or if you buy like a cereal box, yeah. So if you buy a cereal box, there would be at the corner or some side of the zero box here, normally you will find like contact me or something. So there will be a very obvious, uh, it's not like an advert, but a very obvious place where it has all of the necessary channels for communication so that the company can actually, sorry, the customers can actually contact the company if they can give a bit of feedback, or if they want to say their piece or something, or provide if there is any complaint or anything, so that to show that the company is very confident about the product. Not only that, it's also trying to improve the image of the company, because it's also trying to indicate that you concern and you would like to hear from your customer itself. All right, so for this concept, think about if you want to give your customer service hotline or even email or contact number. So sorry, excuse me, for you to share with your target market itself. Okay, so for methodology or method here, it's linked very directly to here. So basically, some people, they would, I think most of the groups, they would only create online survey. But if you guys have access to other people who might be beneficial or might be helpful for your solution, very obviously you can ask for interview with them. So it could be like an online interview, or it could be like a written interview where you ask or provide all of the questions and they simply answer it down. Okay, so whatever kind of method that you guys use to get the information for your primary research, you can put here. Okay, most importantly, I also would like to know and understand, how do you guys analyze your findings from your methods? Okay, so a lot of online surveys, they tend to have Likert scale. So Likert scale is basically giving your audience some statements, okay, and then ask them to rate from 1 to 5. 1 as the least positive and 5 as the most positive, or 1 is strongly disagree and 5 is strongly disagree. Let me give you an example. Okay, so this is an example of a Likert scale. Okay, it's an example of a Likert scale where you provide statements: statement 1, statement 2, statement 3, statement 4, statement 5, and then you ask your respondents to basically rate the statement. Okay, the website has a user-friendly interface: strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, and strongly disagree. Okay, so this is what we call as a Likert scale. All right, so this is an example of how I would analyze my findings using the Likert scale. The survey questions will indicate the perceptions of target market towards buying and having products like zero waste pet food. The findings from this survey will be analyzed in terms of overall means to indicate positive or less positive perceptions. As simple as that. Okay. All right, so let us move forward into the secondary research now. So primary research team, you guys are done. Now let's listen up for secondary research team. So there are a couple of tips that I would like to highlight for secondary research team. So the first one is for you to avoid writing only in point forms. Okay, I would encourage you to write in sentences, full sentences, not point forms, and make sure that it is a complete writing. So it is always best for you to summarize the findings from each source and try to combine the information that you have gathered from your secondary research. Let me give you an example. Okay, so I kind of like provide a bit of like an intro, one sentence here. So I say, in this section, a thorough discussion on previous study linked to pet food, because my topic will be revolved around pet food and also zero waste. Am I right? But in this section, I shall be talking a lot on pet food, and I will discuss in terms of perception, market, and also sources of food. So first point is talking about perception. What do people view about pet food? Do they always, boil their own pet food? Do they, a lot of, Malaysians, would they prefer to buy from the grocery shop, or is it something that they can do it by themselves? or they just give leftover food from what they have in the table and just basically share with their pets. So try and read a lot of things from your topic itself. Okay, so this is also some other examples. Now, what's most important? Okay, what is the most important thing about secondary research that I want to share with you guys is that how do you cite or how do you reference your sources? Now, the rule of thumb, because I don't want to get too detailed, I don't want to ask you guys, oh, please use APA or please use MLA. I don't want to reinforce something like that. But I would give you guys a leniency as long as you guys tell me the name of the author and also the year of the publication itself. Okay, so let me show you an example here. New States Times reported that 75% of Malaysian youth nowadays are at risk of overweight. Okay, so this is the statement that I got from one source, and the source was written by Chan, which is only the first name of my author, and then the year it was written. Okay, so here as you can see, I put the reference at the end of the sentence. Now here, when you want to put or you want to put the focus now on the writer itself. Now it sounded like an English class. Okay, so when you want to focus your writing to the author, maybe the author is someone who's very famous, an expert. Okay, so you can say another study by who. So when you put your source or your reference in front, it means that you really want to emphasize on who wrote this. So another study by Talib 2007 highlight that most Malaysian youth prefer sedentary activities as compared to exercising. Okay, so basically putting your source or your author in front, and then if you can see here, okay, it's slightly different. Okay, so you put your name and then in bracket then only the year itself. So there are different ways of you trying to cite or trying to reference your sources. Now, these are some of the ways for you to do it. Okay. Now, after you're done with the in-text citation, this is something that we call as in-text citation, okay? So something that is embedded in the writing. After that, you have to create references. Now, for references, I need you to write the full name of your author and then in bracket the year it was published, and then as simple as giving me this retrieve from whichever website that you guys got it from. Okay, simple. I don't want something very complicated like MLA, APA. It's too much. I don't want to burden you guys on that matter. I just want to see who did you get it from, which year is this something valid, because I will be checking the references itself. Okay, so it's something that is very straightforward. Let me give you a sample. Okay, a sample on what your seniors have done, just to motivate you guys, okay, to see like, oh, this is what other people have done and you can do it as well. Okay, so basically this is the design challenge proposal that was, sorry, this was the design canvas, discovery canvas, okay, discovery canvas from your senior. So as you can see here, a lot of writings, okay, a lot of things that has been done. And I really like it when you put the statistics over here. If you have some tables, if you have some, pictures, visual aids, just basically to help us to understand the whole topic better. And I really like this. As you can see here, there are a lot of references and this is how to do it. All right. Okay, so secondary research team, this is your job. Okay, now I want to go back again on primary research team because I want to talk about the three components or the three sections that you guys have to create for your online survey. Let's go back there now. So for your online survey, okay, for your online survey, you have to conduct or you have to collect some data. And for that, I need you guys to create a three-part survey question. The first part will be demographic, the second part will be general question, and the third part will be specific question. Now, in demographic questions, they are mostly linked to your respondent's background information. Now, I want to hear it from you guys. Do you think it's necessary to collect people's name or IC number or age range or occupation or salary? Is it necessary? You tell me. I want to see your draft and I want to see how much you guys are thinking into this. Because if you were to submit or if you were asked by anybody to do a survey question and when they ask you about your salary, your IC number, a lot of people will not write the actual, right? Or they would not even do the survey question because it's asking too many personal questions and it's breaching the security or something. So think, if you want people to answer your questionnaire, how would you make it easier for them? All right. So number 2 is general questions. Now I need you guys to prepare some general questions. So what are general questions? General questions are questions that you have to ask that is linked to your topic but not your solution. Okay, it's revolving around your topic, but it's not actually referring back to your idea or your solution. Now, your idea and solution, you have to write it under specific questions. Okay, so specific question is something that is straight to your specific topic. Now, I want to show you a sample which is done by your seniors, and it's very good. Okay, so I hope that you guys can create something like this. So here, okay, so here basically you can see, so some part of the demographic questions that this person, okay, so basically what this group did, what did they do? So what this group did is basically they're trying to create like a device that will help mainly women or travelers who are at the risk of, you know, asking for help or if there is any crime or something, like a self-protection device, something like that. Okay, so these are the target users and the stakeholders and also the experts. So I want you guys to focus on the interview questions now, or the survey questions itself. So for the first part, which is demography, they ask the gender, they ask the age range. Now I really like age range because if you were to collect data and if you ask what is your age, and if you ask to 200 people, you would get 200 different answers. But when you choose age range, it's nice in a sense that you categorize them. Okay, once you categorize, you will be able to generalize your finding better. So you can go back and say, okay, out of 200 people who answered this question or this survey, 10% of them are below 12 years old. And these 12 years old, they believe that blah, 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 blah. Okay, so it will be very easy for you to analyze your data later on if you have age range rather than just the age itself. Okay, so some of the other questions that they ask is about rural areas, or do they live in urban areas, or do they, are they married, or religion. Okay, but I don't think religion is something that you have to ask here because I don't think it's necessary. But if you think it's necessary, you want to know, maybe a lot more Christian people, a lot more Muslim people, they tend to have this device. I don't know. So it's a good finding. Maybe you need it, maybe you don't. So you tell me what are the information that you want. So let's have a look now into general questions. So because the topic is something that involves security and sexual harassment and stuff like that, so the questions that they ask are very linked to that topic itself. They don't really ask, okay, in the general question itself, this group, they did not ask on the actual solution or the actual idea that they want to do, but they ask the topic around their solution itself. So they ask, have you experienced any sexual harassment or assaults before? Do you feel secure when walking on the road? Do you own a self-protection device on hand which can be used anytime? Do you think that you need a device? So these are very wonderful questions. I really like this question here. Do you think that you need a device that will protect you from danger? How often are you on your own? So this is very, very good questions. As you can see, okay, as you can see, it's not like rocket science. It's not even like 100 questions over there, but it's just the nice amount of questions with the correct questions. Okay, it's nice in the sense that it only has 5 questions, but all of these 5 questions are good and essential information. That's what we want. Okay, so the next part would be on specific questions. Okay, so in these specific questions, okay, this is when you want to introduce your solution and you want to ask your audience or you want to ask your target market, if we were to produce something like this, what are the things that you're looking for? So that you can tally what they want with your product. So here you can say, so obviously this group, they did rating for the first one. So they asked, please rate 1 to 5 to indicate how important are the features below. Blah 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 blah. So what are the other features that you're expecting from a self-protection device? Maybe this is the initial plan to create that device, and then they ask their audience or they ask their respondents if they are missing out with other things as well, so that you can suggest it to us so that we can manufacture that for you. Okay, so what are the device or app, what device or app will be convenient for you to ask from help when there is any emergency situations. If the newly invented self-protection device is available today with one or more features listed in previous question 9, how likely would you want to buy this product? Now this is a very wonderful question because in a way you're promoting your product already. So you say, oh, you want this? We have this for you. Okay, something like that. And I also like, okay, so I also like that this question comes with a range of a range of prices already, because it says here how much will you spend on the device or app that you want to buy. Okay, so if we were to launch this, how much or maximum amount of money that you want to pay for this one single device, so that you can tally to your markets, or you can think about them when you are trying to sell this market, so sell this product to them. Okay, so I want to see something similar. I want to see something even better from you guys, but based on your finalized topic. All right, so for your primary research, okay, for your primary research, I need you to complete this, to give me a draft, okay, to give me a draft of your survey question before Thursday, 12 p.m. Okay, so it's noon, it's not midnight. Now, the reason why I have to do it as soon as possible, because once I have sort of like give you guys the green light for you to start distributing your questions, you only have a couple days, because on Monday you guys will have to present for your design challenge proposal. A lot of work, I know. Okay, so please start working on your survey question as soon as possible. Show me the draft of it, then you guys can start distributing to your people. Okay, to people, to respondents for your questions. All right, I know it's a lot, I know it's rushing, but you have to do this. Now, I also want to brief you guys on the challenge next week. Okay, so for your design challenge next week, in week 4, firstly, you have to submit the design challenge proposal. Where can you find the design challenge proposal? Let's have a look. Now go back again into your Blackboard here, click on week 4, and then, okay, it's taking a bit of time. Right, and then I want you to, wait, where is it? There you go. So this is the design challenge proposal here. So this design challenge proposal, okay, this design challenge proposal, a few things that are in this design challenge proposal itself. Okay, a few things that are a bit redundant. Like here is talking about primary and secondary research, which you guys can simply copy from your discovery canvas already. Okay, so if you finish your discovery canvas, you can easily do your design challenge proposal. All right. Okay, so first you have to complete the design challenge proposal. Number 2, you have to do a 5-minute pitch or presentation on your idea or your solution. So as I mentioned, I'm going to invite another lecturer to come into our class, and before next week on Sunday, I will be giving you guys your turn for you to talk. Okay, it will be put in random. So after you're done presenting, the lecturers will ask questions regarding your topic. Okay, and then after you're done with the presentation and Q&A session, you guys can leave if you want to. Okay, so during this presentation, I want all group members to be in the class or in the link itself, and I don't need everybody to present, but at least 2 to 3 people. I don't want single people to be presenting everything. Okay, I want at least 2 to 3 people to open their microphone and unmute their microphone and open their webcam and then present to us. All right, so what do you have to present about? So during the pitch and presentation, you guys can simply use this design challenge proposal, but make sure it's filled up. Okay, make sure that you have filled every single information in this. Okay, so you don't really have to prepare another PowerPoint slides. You can just use your design challenge proposal to show us your as a visual aid for your presentation. All right. Okay, so it's not necessary for you to create another PowerPoint slides, but if you want to, I will not stop you. Please go ahead and do it. Okay, so use the proposal in week 4 just now that I showed you. So use that to help you with this. Okay, all right, so I think that's about it today. I just want to remind you guys again that your quiz 4 is located under week 4's folder. Okay, so this is your quiz 4. You can start doing your quiz 4, and then the due date I extended a little bit, and you can complete it before 13th of September 2020 before midnight. Okay, so I shall be expecting to receive your email, so draft of your survey questions. Okay, so before Thursday noon. Okay, and then once I have given you the feedback, quickly go and distribute your questionnaires. Okay, so at least 20 people. All right, so at least to 20 people. It was supposed to be 50, but I give a leniency because I know that you guys don't have enough time. So at least 20 people to be respondents. All right. Okay, so the more the merrier. Make sure that you guys organize your time. Make sure that you divide the work equally to all group members. All right, so have a good night. It's already past midnight and I should be sleeping, but hey, who's counting? I know, right? Have a good rest, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care. Bye bye.